Have you ever found yourself putting off something important, thinking just 5 more minutes, and when you realize it, you've put it off until tomorrow? Or maybe you want to study or work on a personal project, but the desire just seems to disappear? If these situations sound familiar, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to show you how to overcome procrastination and, above all, how to take the first steps towards achieving the goals you want so much. In this video, I'm going to share practical techniques, especially designed for those who feel they're always putting off tasks until later. I'll show you how you can develop the willpower to take on any challenge, even when your motivation is low. So, if you've tried to start several times and never managed to get going, stick with me. Let's find out together how to turn procrastination into action and build successful habits that will really make a difference to your life. Procrastination is a very common problem, and it affects practically everyone, especially when it comes to studying, doing something that requires effort, or even starting a personal project. The big issue is that when we put off tasks, we enter a cycle of frustration and even anxiety, where we know what we have to do but simply can't get started. This cycle works more or less like this. First, we think about everything we have to do and end up feeling a huge weight. Then the brain looks for a way to relieve this pressure and chooses the easiest path, which is usually putting it off until later. The problem is that instead of solving it, this only increases anxiety and makes us feel even less motivated. So if you identify with this difficulty, know that you're not alone. Many teenagers go through this, but the good news is that there are ways to break this cycle and gain control over what needs to be done. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the tools you need to get started, even when you're not in the mood. Shall we go ahead? Now that you have a better understanding of how procrastination works, let's talk about what changes in your life when you start to overcome it. Overcoming procrastination can bring a number of benefits, from feeling like you're really in control of your routine to achieving that level of confidence you've always wanted to have. Just imagine, when you stop procrastinating, you start to see your plans coming to fruition, your grades improve, your goals get closer, and that feeling of frustration diminishes. The feeling of accomplishment is one of the main advantages. When you manage to accomplish something, even if it's a small task, you feel more motivated to continue. It's like a positive snowball. The more you act, the more results appear, and the easier it becomes to take the next step. Little by little, this attitude helps you develop new success habits that really make a difference. What's more, you'll notice that by reducing procrastination, your stress levels also decrease. The anxiety that came from all those tasks piling up little by little disappears, and your mental energy becomes more focused on what really matters. This means more space to devote to your studies, hobbies, projects, or whatever else is important to you. Ready to find out how this is possible? It's time to get into the practical part of the video. Now, I'm going to share some simple and effective techniques that will help you stop procrastinating and start accomplishing. The first is the 10-minute technique. It works like this. When you feel like you're procrastinating, tell yourself that you're going to do the task for just 10 minutes. This takes away the enormous pressure of having to finish everything and helps you take the first step. Often, you end up realizing that after those 10 minutes, the task wasn't so bad and decide to continue. Another very good technique is task division. Do you know that feeling that the task is huge and seems impossible to complete? Then break it down into smaller parts. If you have a project to hand in, for example, divide it into very small stages. One to research, another to write a paragraph, and so on. Each time you complete one of these small parts, you feel motivated to continue, and little by little, the task becomes much more manageable. A third tip is to use rewards. That's right. The idea here is to create rewards for yourself after completing a task. It can be something as simple as watching an episode of your favorite series or spending a few minutes on social media. These rewards make the process more interesting and can really help you stay focused. Finally, there's the focus space. Having a specific place to carry out your tasks, away from distractions, can be a real game changer. Take your cell phone out of the room if possible and set up a comfortable and organized place. This simple attitude helps the brain understand that this is the time to concentrate, which gradually reduces procrastination. Now that you know some techniques for overcoming procrastination, let's talk about how to turn these actions into a habit. For this, consistency is essential. After all, we build new routines by practicing. An excellent way to start is with what I call the 7-day challenge. Choose one of the techniques you've learned here, such as the 10-minute technique, and commit to using it every day for a week. The idea of the challenge is to help you create a new routine and see the benefits in practice. In the first few days, you may still feel the urge to procrastinate, but over time you'll find it easier and easier to keep going. And the more you practice, the more your brain gets used to taking action instead of procrastinating. This cycle will give you a basis for maintaining self-control in other areas too, whether in your studies or personal activities. Remember, turning these steps into habits is the key to lasting results. The more you dedicate yourself, the more natural the action becomes. Little by little, you'll notice that procrastination begins to lose its grip and that you're actually in control. Are you ready to take that first step? Before we close, I want to remind you of something very important. Nobody starts out 100% motivated or with infinite willpower. We all have difficult days, and that's okay. The important thing is to take the first step and keep trying, because it's that effort that makes the difference. Every little achievement counts and brings you closer to your goals. When you realize that you are capable of overcoming procrastination, even in small tasks, you gain more confidence and start to believe in your own potential. So my tip is, start small, apply the techniques, and above all, believe in the process. Change happens when you insist. If you've made it this far, it shows that you're committed to change. Now I want to hear from you. Which technique will you try first? Let me know in the comments what your experience was like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. I'll keep bringing you more content to help you overcome challenges and achieve your goals. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.